the stream looks like it is streaming, so hopefully we're starting up soon. There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah!
I am Christiana Ellis, and I am the Dungeon Master. And tonight, we are back to a full complement of our players. We have Chooch Schubert as Autarky.
Hello, hello.
Starla Hutchton as Nirakina Etu.
Greetings and salutations.
Jennifer Meltzer as Cadence of the Water.
Hello.
James Meltzer as Ket of the Sands.
I am dreading Naught this episode.
Mark Guilfoyle as Alaric Copperbeard.
I can't die today. I got too much to do tomorrow.
And returning to us, Vivid Muse as Amethyst.
Hey guys, I picked a great night to come back, didn't I?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Yes,
We
a
need
Dreadnought.
you. We need you so
WTF
much.
is a Dreadnought.
Well, you know, what kind of trouble does the rest of the party get into when you're not around?
Kids today.
So, just as we get started, we want to just briefly talk about what is this overlay on the screen. If you haven't been paying attention to my social media feed or last week's episode or other sorts of similar products from my social media feed, I am participating in a game called... I'm saying this very strangely for some reason. I am going to be playing D&D for charity as part of Extra Life, and some of the fine players here tonight are going to be joining me on November 2nd and 3rd, where I'm going to run 24 hours of Dungeons & Dragons over 2 days, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. And we're going to be doing all of this in order to raise money for children's hospitals. It is a great
For children's
cause.
hospitals?
That's right. Specifically, Boston
Children
Children's
shouldn't
Hospital.
run hospitals. This sounds cagey to me.
Well, that's why they need a lot of extra capital to hire some grown-up doctors.
Sorry.
But we have already, as of today, reached my initial fundraising target of $750. So I'm going to have to start thinking up some stretch goals. But in the meantime, if you want to head over to the link that you see right there on the screen, you can find out how you can join the fun and participate with us for a good cause, and then come back on the weekend and watch us play. It's going to be a good time. And so, if you are listening to this in audio, check out the podcast notes. The link will be there as well. So, let's talk about what happened last week. Well, the party, sans Amethyst, had been escorted to meet and parley with the Githyanki Supreme Commander, hoping to dissuade the Githyanki Armada from using their harnessed astral dreadnought monsters to shatter the amber shell around the emerald or the world tree Emerald Arboris. And it was going to be tricky, they knew. But even trickier when they realized that the Githyanki had allied with the Fey Queen of the Dawn Court, Queen Solomonia. So what followed was some back and forth negotiations, discussions, questions asked and answered, and then ultimately leading to a proposal that the Githyanki have a ritual where prospective knights can earn the right to wield a silver sword by slaying an astral dreadnought. Because Autarky had once managed to wield that silver sword as a result of his psionic crystal, it was decided that the party would have the opportunity to attempt this ritual for themselves. They retired to some private rooms / prison cells within the Githyanki flagship to get a night's rest before this big ordeal. There were some discussions, but then they each turned in and each received a pleasant dream before waking fully rested. But that's not where we're starting today, because we want to know what's going on with Amethyst. During all of this, Amethyst had remained behind at Emerald Arboris, the world tree, and was communing with it, helping it to heal itself and trying to understand it better, bond with it, and commune with it. And it has been a powerfully intense experience, one that you, Amethyst, were reluctant to give up even for important duties. Archie ran off because he heard sounds of combat out in the city, and he ran off to make sure your friends were safe, but you stayed behind, staying with the tree for now. And it's a fascinating series of contradictions. It is life, of course, and it is nature, but it's so large, so transcendent, that to call it alive feels inadequate. It's not enough to call it merely alive. There is no mind within it, but there is a will, and that will is conflicted. By joining your consciousness with it, you have engaged with something you still don't fully understand. You feel at once like you have returned to the womb, or perhaps you are a seed planted in rich, warm soil. And yet, at the edges of this warm, dark sanctum, you feel tingles and sparkles. There are places, so many places. One is hot, another cold. One soft and welcoming, another harsh and abrasive. All just out of reach, but you know they're there. You're safe here, protected, and part of you wants nothing more than to remain here in this safety forever. And yet, there is a growing urge within you. Curled here in this tiny shell, there is a potential that grows within you, stronger with every passing hour. It's gentle for now, but undeniable. You long to stretch, to unfurl, to reach out and touch every place that could ever be touched. And yet, there was a time before the safety that you know now, when you broadened your horizons too far and received only pain, slashed, burned, cut into pieces, torn and ripped and crushed until you were almost nothing, until you were forced to recreate your shell, lest you be utterly annihilated. You're not sure you can go through that again. Maybe it's better to stay where it's safe. And yet, all of these conflicting feelings, emotions, sensations produce another conflict in you. This experience goes so far beyond what any mortal creature could have ever known. So why does it feel so familiar?
I don't know. Why?
As you are in this place, communing with the tree, feeling what it feels, you realize that you have an awareness of sorts of everything that's going on within this shell. You can kind of feel where there are the Modrons now dormant for the moment. You feel the places that are still, weak and recovering from the Demon Lord's rot. You sense a dragon fleeing through your tunnels, currently lost. You feel the tiny, warm presence of the little amber dragon that you've come to know. You feel your friends out there in the city speaking with some of the Githyanki invaders. You can't really process the details of what they're discussing, but you know it's happening. And you know that when your friends leave with the Githyanki, that they are doing so willingly. What are you looking at? You realize you have some measure of control in this place, of where your awareness wanders. Where does it wander to?
I'm curious what's going on with my companions. Mm-hmm. Archie left and he didn't come back. Mm-hmm. So I'm feeling kind of like I should be concerned about it, even though I'm so happy and so content and all of those things. I feel like I should be paying attention to that as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know that there was a time where you felt the onslaught from outside. Powerful impacts battering at the shell around the tree. Those have relaxed somewhat for the moment. But you know that the beings perpetrating it are still out there. They could resume at any time. And that seems to be where your friends are going. You realize that you have a measure of influence here. To call it control feels wrong. It's a bit more like guidance. The way a gentle breeze might encourage a traveler to choose one fork in the road over another. You realize that this tree is at its own crossroads. It could protect itself. It could retreat deeper within this shell, make itself more safe, especially now that the demon rot and the pruning maintenance of the Modrons has ceased. It could make the amber shell all the stronger. But you also feel this pressure to grow, to resume seeking out its true potential. But doing so would require weakening the shell, beginning to let it thin and flake away.
I would then can I first see what's going on with the dragon that's fleeing through the tunnels or lost in the tunnels before I decide on that?
Your awareness flows down through the roots below the level of the city and into the underground, but the darkness, even the obstruction of the soil, holds no barrier for you. You know that this dragon came in with the other invaders that your friends left with, but it left that group and went down another series of tunnels. Now it seems to be wandering. It is agitated, you can feel. You see it take out its frustration on a couple of Modrons, melting them into slag. It doesn't seem to be pursuing any direction that would lead it somewhere of importance. You get the feeling that it went down the wrong tunnel and now it doesn't know how to get out.
I can't sense anything about its intention otherwise, though. Like it's just trying to get somewhere and it's in the wrong way, gone the wrong way.
It seems angry and frustrated, maybe a little bit scared, but you can't read its mind.
Right. And the Amber Dragon.
Mm-hmm. He's around. He helped your friends leave through the Amber Shell. And then he has been making his way slowly back in your direction.
I can't remember if I'm able to communicate with him.
He is, yeah, he's spoken with you before.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I'd like to reach out to it and just say, hey, how are you doing? Are you okay?
I'm okay, but your friends wanted me to tell you that they left to go talk with the Githyanki.
They seemed like they went willingly, though, right?
Well, they did. They won the fight, but then they stopped fighting, and then they talked, and then they started fighting again.
Sounds like them.
And then they talked some more, and then they decided that they could go talk to, I guess, whoever's in charge of them.
Okay.
They said to tell you.
Thank you so much for telling me. Do you feel like you're safe here?
I think so.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. There's a lot going on, and I just wanted to make sure that you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Still feels pretty unsafe here, though, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know what's going to happen. Everything's changing so fast. Things stayed the same for a long time, and now lots of things are changing. Costos is gone. There was that mean demon, and there's those people trying to come in from outside. And you guys came too, which I like you, but everything's changing. I don't know what to do.
Well, my number one and my companions, I believe still their number one concern is making sure that the tree is safe and that the people that live near it, everybody that's been hurt or held in a stasis is restored. So I hope that we're able to do that. That's really what we're trying to do. And I hope that brings you some comfort. We've been able to pull off some pretty weird stuff before, so this might actually be possible.
He doesn't especially look comforted, but go ahead and make an insight check.
Insight, and okay, so it's been 100 years since I played. That's my what do I add to that?
Well, it's in wisdom, so it's in your. But if you're looking at your skills list, yours is +4.
+4. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. 20, not natural.
Okay, yeah. So you realize first of all that there's a moment of recognition that he's not even literally in the room with you. You're having this conversation through the awareness of the tree. but you still sense within him, you can feel around the edges of his thoughts and feelings, that it's not that he holds any ill will against you or the people in this city, but it's a bit like telling a child, everything you know is going to change, but it's a good thing.
That's fair. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's already changing. We're just trying to make it.
We lost Starla, unfortunately. Hopefully she'll be back in a moment. But in any event, so Amethyst, you're feeling some pressure.
Yeah.
The tree needs a decision.
I don't think it's safe yet. I think that you should protect yourself, and I promise I'll tell you as soon as I think that it's safe for you. But right now there's still some stuff going on outside, and I'm going to go check it out, and just please for now stay safe and, build your defenses.
And the dragon, little Arius just kind of says, okay. And through all of this, you do feel that the tree, likewise, is drawing itself within. It is enclosing itself. It is strengthening its shell. So,
That makes me so sad. Lock yourself up.
It's a tough decision.
Hide your dragons, hide your kids.
So, in the meantime, let's follow over to the interior of the Githyanki flagship. You are not disturbed in your chambers. You've been told that the Githyanki would see this done as soon as possible, but you requested rest, and there wasn't a specific time placed on that. You certainly know that every additional passing hour would thin their patience, but it is up to you how to proceed at this time.
Well, preparations for me. I'm going to take that dragon mask out of the bag of holding and kind of hide it on my person, because when we get in the thick of it, I'm going to want to use it. And I'm going to prepare a little bit, kind of thinking about this, how to handle this. And I'm going to take some pittons that I have for my engineering stuff, and take some lengths of rope and tie the lengths of rope into the pittons.
Okay.
I'm going to affix them to my hips on my armor.
All right. I
Got an
suppose
idea.
we'll find out what that's all about at some point soon, I'm sure. Okay.
And one on my tail.
All right.
Yeah, definitely one on my tail.
Gonna use some haws here.
Okay.
I don't suspect, I guess we'll find out when we get out there, but I don't think they're going to just hand us one of their little controlled ones. I guess we're going to have to go hunting, perhaps, but I think we should try to get close to one to get more of an idea of what we're dealing with, Clearly, they're not going to be any help.
Well, I think the moment that we leave this room, they're going to shuffle us off to a departure point us in a direction, and say, go.
Yeah, it's
There might be more to it than that. They talk about this like a ritual, like something they do periodically, if not frequently, because people prove themselves.
right.
So I expect a bit of pomp and circumstance and probably a little more order than we're used to. They may very well have one pinned or setting it loose or something. I don't think we're going to have to find one.
Well,
I think
didn't they
that's-
say Didn't they say we were supposed to encounter it in its natural environment?
What they told you is that the battlefield would be the mists of the astral sea. What they also told you is that ordinarily it would be the prospective knight's job to seek out one of these things in order to slay it. But in this case, there have been several gathered already.
Ah. Right. Okay, so yeah, we probably will jump straight into things. After perhaps some pomp.
Yeah, I don't care as much about that part, but they probably do.
And I guess they're gonna, they're looking to it like it's my challenge, so I guess I'm gonna have to act like, I don't know, general.
Us, Archie.
And we don't really know much about these things. We're at such a disadvantage, but I'm thinking we want to stay spread out, and we want to keep it distracted, keep it unfocused. That's my guess. But I guess we'll see when we get there, We've been working together a long time. We can do this.
I'm sure we can pretend you're in charge for at least a day.
So I will have one suggestion right before all of this kicks off. I intend to put up which one was it? Beacon of Hope,
Okay.
which will help everybody, but you have to be kind of within range of me at that time.
What's that range?
Gotcha.
It is 30 feet.
So, we probably should expect things to go wrong. That's the one true thing I can say about just about everything we've done, but
Yeah.
something about this one, there was something about it having some sort of repelling properties, like it could throw off magic. I don't know if it'll affect our magic or just it'll be resistant or something. But be prepared that everything could fail.
Yeah. Or it could touch us and remove our blessings. Or
Well,
I'm
for
also
that
going
matter,
to...
it could probably just eat us for that. Which,
Yeah,
as I recall, is something you're used to, Otterkey.
Yeah, I've been there before. But I think it's been a long time too. I think we're going to need all the help we can get. So I think I'm going to try to bring Vengeance, my steed, back. May have changed a bit.
I was going to say, it's not exactly your speed anymore.
He's not quite of the mortal plane, so he's always there.
Is Vengeance the proper name for him at this point? Given your oath has changed.
Good point. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll see.
Maybe E-Vengeance or something, or Re-Vengeance. The Vengeaning Part 3.
There you go.
The Vengeance, the Vengeance of Destruction. How's that? Does that work? We faced a lot of things. We haven't died mostly yet, so don't do it this time.
It's a good motto. I like it.
I say it every day.
Any other preparations? I think I'm ready.
If it does start going bad, like really bad, I want you to pull the plug on this projection near Kenon. Go back home. Go back to your body and start again.
Alaric, I'm not in any more danger than any of you.
But you don't have to be in further danger if you can get out.
True.
You have a lot of strength. You can do it if we are all gone.
What? Save the multiverse by myself.
I believe in you.
It's not that I don't have confidence in myself, but it's that seems a bit much.
You'll find some allies. You
I
found me
have
in a
some
hole.
now, and I'd like to keep them.
Hey, I'm not preferring it. I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, the most important is to keep the dream alive, right? We need to keep the tree going. So keep Amethyst safe, keeping the tree safe, and keep Melicanth safe, I guess, or
You know, that's something I didn't think about, Christiana. If this creature is able to dispel magic at high enough level, can it poof me out of here? And
That's a good question.
don't get bit.
Also, good advice in general.
I just want to
And,
sleep,
well-
man. I need some rest if we're going to fight Dreadnoughts today.
You didn't sleep?
I thought we already did.
Did we already have our
Oh, yeah,
long
yeah,
rest?
my assumption was this is the morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What? You need a
Morning.
cat nap already?
Let's go fight the Dreadnought.
we had first rest. What about second rest?
You sound like a
That
gnome.
second long rest.
Sounds good.
All right, Archie, this is your show.
Yeah, boss.
Oh, Captain,
That's-
my captain.
Man,
Let's slay a dreadnought.
I go to sleep for 8 hours and I wake up and Archie's the boss. Okay.
It's a whole different world today.
Oh my god.
Briefly.
It's a nightmare.
Now, was it clear? Do we have to kill it?
That's
Yeah.
what they said.
Yeah, they said we got
I
to
was
kill
gonna
it.
clarify, but I'm pretty sure, yeah.
You know, I suggested bringing it back here and getting the help of them to kill it, but you were all like, no, we have to kill it ourselves.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think they would see that as a victory for us.
No.
Yeah.
And we really need them to see it that way.
Yeah.
Hell, we still got one more link of the chain to go. Queen herself.
True.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
All
let's
right.
go kill the
Let's
Dreadnought.
get it.
yeah, man.
Kill the beast.
Time's wasting.
Game face.
Da-da-dun, da-da-dun, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Exactly. Yep. That's it.
Alright. So, yeah, let's go ahead and put on some beast slaying music. So,
Our style.
you emerge from this little room in the interior of the ship. You're immediately face to face with a Githyanki warrior who is immediately outside. He looks at all of you just with an expectant expression.
We are prepared.
He nods and does not speak and just steps aside, or like floats back and gestures that you should proceed down this other corridor.
Okay. Head on down.
All right.
Float on down.
You find as you pass through the various passageways in this ship that there are here and there warriors and other crew of this ship going about shipboard business, but at the sight of each of you, they immediately stand and they watch you pass. They don't interfere, they don't address you, they watch you carefully with, a not somber but serious expression, a respect that you are attempting something dangerous, but they do not speak to you. Occasionally, when it's unclear where you might go, one might briefly gesture to the direction, but that is the full extent to which they interact with you.
All right.
You definitely are finding that to be a consistent pattern as you progress through the ship. You are shown up to the war room where you met with the Supreme Commander before. There are many dozens of warriors lining the perimeter of this room as there was before. The Supreme Commander nods to you, does not speak, and he gestures to follow him as he moves to walk out onto the deck.
There we go. Go ahead and walk out with him.
You make your way out onto the deck of this enormous flagship, and you see that the entire armada is present, if anything, more ships than you saw before. And they are all arrayed in an enormous sphere around empty space. It is thousands of feet across. But they have created a spherical arena of sorts.
Wow.
You see that on the deck of the ship, there is something that resembles the silver sword that you once wielded. But you can tell, just by looking at it, that it's... So, Archie, you were the one that had experience with this sword before, and you still have the psionic crystal. And you've, here and there, gotten little fleeting flickers and whispers of the sort of psionic presence that the Supreme Commander mentioned in seeing how a silver sword or the gem would speak of its own history. And you feel like you get little flickers of it here and there. But as you look at this sword, you just instinctively know, without really even understanding how you know, that that one is yet to be claimed. It's not the one you had before. It sits with its tip stabbed into the wooden deck, holding it upright. And the Supreme Commander walks over to stand in front of it, looks at all of you, and then points over the side. And you see there in the center is an astral dreadnought. At the moment, it is still dormant, waiting, kind of staring as the others have, but it is certainly in the center of this enormous sphere.
All right. I'll look at the commander, say, slay?
He says nothing, he just gives you that same serious stare.
All right.
You can make an insight check if you like.
Sure, yeah. Why not? 17, 19, 20, 21, 22.
Every tiny action or word that you speak or gesture that you make or facial expression that you share is all part of what you are being judged on right now.
Ah. Right on.
So he's not going to give you any answers right now. They are waiting to see what you do.
All right. So I'm going to kind of jump off the side and turn to the team and say, last huddle up, I guess.
I think we're done huddling, Archie.
Yeah, I think it's go time, so I'm going to cast my summon steed, find greater steed, that's what it is. Cast.
So, for a moment, The silvery mists of the astral sea seemed to condense and swirl nearby you, and then there are flickers of light flashing in it, and it becomes to take on a solid form. And what does it look like?
It is essentially it's a obsidian Pegasus that has this kind of red-looking flames coming off the wings and the hooves to match me.
But it definitely has the wings. It is not just
Yeah.
a flying horse. It is a Pegasus. Right. Yeah.
Correct.
All right. Cool. So, do you mount up?
Yeah, so I'll jump onto it, its back, and pat kind of the neck, and
as you connect with it, reconnect, feeling how the relationship has shifted, feeling it coming to understand you and how you might be different now. Make an animal handling check.
Oh, I only have a -1. Oh, Jesus. A 1.
You got a 1 with a negative?
I rolled a 2, but I get
Oh,
a
okay.
-1.
All right. So, it does not reject you, but it is acting as though you are not its master. Magic has called it into being, and it will do as commanded, but not by its will.
Mm-hmm.
And at the moment, it resents you for this.
No.
But it will do as you command.
Get that. Get that. Right now, I'm going to fake it till I make it. So I patted it on the neck.
So, regarding Shield of Faith, Christiana, do they have to remain within that range? Because it doesn't specify that.
I think Shield of Faith. Well, read how.
Shield of Faith's on an individual.
Says this spell bestows hope and vitality. Choose any number of creatures within range. For the duration, each target has advantage on wisdom saving throws and death saving throws and regains the maximum number of hit points possible from any healing. And it lasts for 1 minute.
That's based on that verbiage. I would say they have to be within range when you cast it, but they don't have to stay within range.
Okay. Then I want to do that before we get up.
Yeah, if we can judge the distance, I say we head out tight, and then we fan out when we're, a few hundred yards away.
All right. So how close do you want to get to it before anything changes other than you just flying at it?
Yeah. At least 200 feet.
Okay. By sheer coincidence, that is approximately the distance I have you at on the map.
Oh, hey!
Which is
Good.
really just a dumb coincidence, like it's totally... All right.
Do you guys want to spread out and try surrounding it, sort of like a 5-point star?
Well, let me
that's what I was
first
thinking.
go
That
ahead
we be
and...
together so we can buff and then
Yeah.
spread out.
So, this is your target. And...
Stop crying. You're in charge.
Paladins, we cry on the inside.
And there's you.
Wow.
The scale is ridiculous. I love it.
Oh my god.
So I believe that this on the map right now actually has you somewhere in the neighborhood of 160 feet from it. Depending on like what part of it you're talking about. Like from the center, it would be more like 200 feet, but like obviously it's big. So
I think. Yeah,
by the way, let me go ahead and give you your steed.
Oh, sweet.
That tiny little dot over there. That should be.
To the rescue.
Let's see. Let's move that one to the back. Here we go. I don't think at this zoom level you're going to be able to see it very well, but yeah. All right, so
I think we
what's
should
the plan?
spread out as we approach. I'm gonna try to stay behind it.
Okay.
And try to keep its attention or keep it turning.
How far out are you spreading? Like, how far away from each other do you want to be? You know what? How about this?
Yeah.
Right now, you have approached it at this distance, staying close together.
Right.
Let's roll initiative.
Yeah.
Can I fire off Shield of Faith or no?
I mean,
Oh yeah, sorry, that was my intention. Is we're gonna clump together. We can all buff up, and then we can spread out.
Yeah. So right now we're rolling
we are buffed.
initiative, and you can do as you like. Right now it is. It has not yet responded to your approach, but we're rolling initiative now.
It's 15 for me.
All right.
17.
15.
21.
I have the lower decks.
All right.
22.
It's always one of you buggers.
All right. So that produces Ket going first.
How much is each square?
5 feet.
5 feet? Okay.
Yeah. And recall that we're still in the astral plane movement rules, so 3 times your intelligence score. And for the sake of your fine greater steed, I think the magic of it moves at the appropriate normal movement speed and not what it would be based on the intelligence.
Gotcha.
Because it's magical in nature, I'll go ahead and rule that.
Sweet.
I will
Who's
move
that?
60 feet south.
Ooh.
Okay? So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60.
And then I will move another 60 feet west.
Okay. So
Sorry,
Were you wanting-
you're east? Yeah, I'm going to use my feline agility.
okay. Well, I just
Yeah.
mean though that if you were wanting to have it be that right angle shape, or
Yeah.
you could have just gone diagonal if you didn't.
Yeah, I know. It's,
Okay. And so you want to go east?
Yeah, like towards it. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, my bad.
All right. So do 2, 30, 40. Like that?
Yep.
All right.
And that's my turn.
Okay.
I know you want to move there. Do you want to wait a round until Starla buffs and then, since it hasn't moved?
I thought she was buffing before we walked in.
Yeah.
Well,
I was
no,
really confused
that's-
because I was
okay.
like, I was
I
going to do
said
that.
let's
and
roll
then-
initiative, and you guys
Right.
do what you
Oh.
want. We're rolling initiative with you all clumped together.
So-
The buffs have not
right.
been cast yet, unless you.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
Oh.
that's the point. That's the point. Is that we can do it around because it hasn't responded.
Mhm.
Oh,
So you just
okay,
chill
all
for a
right.
round until it gets to her turn, and we can all buff up. Yeah.
All right, put me back.
We know it's going to be, so that's important.
All
That's
right.
good.
All right, that's my turn.
Okay, so you want to hold an action?
No, I'll just
Okay.
forfeit my turn.
All right. So it would be Alaric next.
I will cast Mirror Image.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. Let me go ahead and. All right. Are you staying where you are?
For now, yeah.
All right. Cadence.
You're muted.
I'm going to stay where I am and hold an arrow in case the magic, anybody's magic triggers it to start coming at us.
So, what I will say is, Cadence, on your turn, with your perception score, you notice that when Alaric cast a spell, that little tiny light that was hovering in front of this thing's eye winks out.
Okay.
It hasn't responded yet, but that does happen.
If it does start to come towards us or advance on us
Mm-hmm.
when Nira casts her spell, then I'm going to shoot it.
Okay. All right. Autarky.
So I'm gonna prepare to jettison off, take off after she does her spell.
Right.
I'm not gonna take any other action.
Okay.
until
Well,
I'm
so
ready to move.
normally I think you can't hold movement. You can-
Oh right, yeah,
Well, you could hold your action and use
Yeah,
your
well,
action to move.
you could do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So get some movement. That is what I would like to do.
Okay, so you're holding your action, which will be the dash action triggered when Nira casts her spell.
Right.
All right. Nira.
I am casting Beacon of Hope.
Okay. And that's going to be on everybody, right?
Yes. Obviously not the monster, but
Right.
yes.
Yeah. That would probably presumably include Vengeance as well, or whatever Vengeance's new name is, right?
Yeah.
Resentment, I think, is its new name, right?
Currently.
Right. All right. So that lasts for a minute.
Alright.
So charge, Archie.
Okay, so she casts her spell, and how far is your dash?
So let's see well, I'm not gonna do my
So,
full movement.
It
but-
is going to be
sorry.
it's going to be your steed's movement speed.
Right, yeah. So its movement is 90 feet.
Okay.
And I'm actually I will basically go west
Okay.
90 feet.
So, let's see, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. All right.
And yeah, I'm gonna wait there. Let's see what happens the next round.
All right. So, it is the Dreadnought's turn, and on its turn, it blinks its enormous cloudy eye, and then turns to look at all of you. Archie, your steed vanishes.
Ah!
It just disappears out from under you.
Wow.
And
Whoa.
and the slight warm feeling that you felt from that beacon of hope, gone.
Would that trigger my action?
How would you know?
Because
Seeing
would we
that
feel-
Archie's Archie's steed disappears, you tell me, would that trigger your action?
well, would we feel Beacon of Hope disappear?
You didn't feel it. Archie did.
Okay.
But you did see Archie's steed disappear.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he dismissed it. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, you tell me.
no.
All right. So, for right now, that's all that happens, but it is looking in your direction. Right. And so, that brings us back to the top of the order. Ket.
All right, I will move 120 feet south.
Okay. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. So, here's some nuance that is going to give you enough information that I'm going to show something visually. As you move through there's a moment where you feel that pleasant warmth of the beacon spell disappear. But as you keep moving in that direction, it resumes.
Oh, okay. Just as I suspected.
Yeah. So what I'm actually going to show you now is that it has a cone of vision emerging from its eye, and within that range is... Now, you don't metagame in terms of...
Right.
You don't see any effect there, but I'm showing you where and when you felt that change.
Legit.
Yeah. All right. Are you used your action to move that far, or are you...
No, I use my feline agility.
Okay.
So I'm going to... Oh. That's my turn.
Okay. Alaric.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to charge straight at it. So I'm going to move 96 straight at it.
All right. So hang on. Let me just use the ruler for that. All right. So you're going to be right there. And what you find, whoops, as you make your way in that direction, and you would notice this earlier than arriving there, so you can tell me if that would change anything, but your duplicates vanish as soon as you enter that field. And so does the feeling of that beacon of hope.
Does my armor vanish?
No.
Good to know. Let's see. All right. What do I do? How far away from it am I?
So basically, I'm going to treat it's not a strict circle in terms of this image, but I'm going to basically treat like every part of it that actually fills a square as considering that space that it controls. So right now you would be, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet from it in that direction. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet in that direction, so on.
All right. Then I will try to summon the axe.
Okay. It works.
Give the axe a little impromptu delighted kiss, and then throw it at it.
You realize as you are summoning the axe and holding it in your hand, you can see that in a way that you've never been able to observe visually before, but now in this area that you can recognize is interfering with magic somehow, this axe is just exuding magic of its own, and you can see it coming off of the thing like vapor, it's like it's emerging from fog, but constantly this magic just flowing off of it, generating its own despite the anti-magic field around it.
Steamy. I like it. Let's see if I can hit it.
Okay.
That's important right now. Let's see. That's a nat 20 to start.
Very nice. Okay. So in that sense, you hit it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might have hit it. Let's see, however. Oh, wait. It's in nat 20.
It is.
Oh, dear. This is going to be fun. Okay. So first of all, okay, so that's additional on that. So I'll roll the damage first. It's not sneak attack because it definitely saw me coming.
Yeah. You're
But,
also not within 5 feet of it, or I think that's a rule. It has to be like a melee attack, I think, for that. Fancy footwork.
Yes, for that one. Yeah.
So anyway, go ahead.
So I'm rolling up the damage. That's 30 points of slashing damage to start.
Okay.
Now I'll roll another d20. Not a 20.
All right. You cut off
That would've been
the Master
hilarious.
Dreadnought's head in the very first attack. I would have
do
let
have-
that happen because of how awesome that is.
Well, I get another attack. So let's see
Yeah.
if I can do that again. I get 2 more attacks. All right, so throw it again. Does the axe come back to me? Actually,
It does.
okay. 23 to hit.
23 does hit.
Yep. For an additional 11 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And then one more time. Let's dig out that's not an at 20. 26 to hit.
That hits.
Whoop. For another 12 points.
Okay. All right. You definitely see that axe carving some grooves and piercing some of the flesh underneath these enormous armor plates. You definitely heard it.
Good.
Hmm?
I stand there satisfied.
That's your turn?
Yes.
Cadence, your turn.
I'm going to move south about 20 feet.
Mhm.
And I'm going to fire my first shot at it
Okay.
with, it's not going to hit. It's a 16.
Yeah, unfortunately, you see first of all, as you fire the arrow, you see the magical glimmer that your arrows normally carry. You see it vanish as it gets closer to this thing, and then the arrow just harmlessly bounces off one of its armor plates.
I'll take my second shot. And that is a plus. That's a 32.
Okay, that hits.
That's 11 points of damage.
Okay, you see once again that the arrow does hit, and it does pierce the armor slightly, but you can sense that all of the magic was sapped out of it before it hit, and that it was not doing as much damage as you would expect. You can make a perception check, though, to try to get a sense of where that happened.
20, not natural.
Okay. I think that's enough to recognize that it was at about the edge of where you see this triangle, that the magic seems to vanish off of it.
Okay.
All right. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
All right. Otterkey.
All right, I'm going to continue my. Well, let's see. It didn't move. I'm going to keep continuing on east or west.
Okay. How far?
Let's see. My normal movement's 30, so
Okay.
yeah. And then I'm gonna. Well,
And
yeah.
20.
I'll just keep
And
going because I
so-
want to try to get behind it.
And actually, you find, poof, just as you finish your movement there, your steed reappears.
Oof.
It is next to you, not, you're not astride it as it
Okay.
reappears into existence, but your
So
your
take an
spell-
action to remount.
No, I think in a place like this where there's no gravity and it's just a matter of willing yourself
Sure.
up there, there's not, you don't.
Because so what I would love to mount it and use the action to dash.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's much faster than I am.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, so its movement fly speed is 90 feet.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go basically straight towards it.
All right. I think what you're going to find is that your steed disappears out from under you again when you get about there.
All right.
I'm just going to move it down here where you don't see it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than
That's it for
leaving
me.
a token. Yeah. So,
What?
yep. You can make a perception check though if you want. to start getting a sense
We know
of where this.
how great I am
Right.
at that.
Because I wanted you guys as players to see what's happening, but definitely want to play how you guys would actually know. I think as a 12, you heard that it does something anti-magic, but I don't think you've put together what's happening, how it exactly works yet. Because you were startled to have it come back,
Yeah.
but then disappear again. What's going on there?
It is pissed off at me.
All right,
My speed.
Nira.
Well, since everybody else ran off, it's just me and Cadence here. I am going to cast Aid,
Okay.
which will give both of us. It increases our maximum hit points by 5,
Is that
and your
another
current hit points by
concentration?
5.
Concentration on aid or no?
It's not concentration.
Okay.
Actually, neither is Beacon of concentration.
I
Oh,
feel like it
That
has
one
to
is.
be.
8
Yeah.
is not though.
Okay.
8 is not,
All right.
and it lasts for
What
8
if-
hours. So
We get +5 to our.
max
Eight.
and your current.
Okay.
So it's like giving you an extra 5, but also
Mm-hmm.
healing you for 5 since it at the same
All right.
time.
So, that was Nira's turn. Are you going to move at all?
No, I'm staying where I am.
Okay. It is this thing's turn now. And it is going to the Dreadnought's turn. It just easily moves up to here. The
Ooh.
cone here moves with it. And it is turning its head to look. I'm gonna have to keep moving this around. Let's see. This is a little bit tricky controlling it. There we go. All right. And it is going to make a claw attack against Otterkey first. Let's see. 34 to hit.
Yeah.
To be fair, that was a high roll. I'll go ahead and let you know that much. All right, and then that's going to do 18 slashing damage. You're getting a claw attack too, Alaric. And that's going to be a 32 to hit.
It's close, but it hits.
Yeah.
I'll use my reaction to move strangely out of the way, otherwise known as an uncanny dog.
Okay.
Just halves the damage.
Right. So you're going to take, it would be 17, so you have that to 8. And then you're also getting a bite attack, Alaric.
No, maybe I should have waited.
That's going to be 21 to hit.
Yep.
All right. I need to get more dice out. I didn't plan this in advance. I just don't want, like when it has 3d6 or something like that, I don't want to keep rolling 1d6 over and over, right?
Yeah,
So
sure.
I don't-
3d6. That's what it has. Sure.
Well,
yeah.
no, that's not
I
what
need
it
more
was
dice,
just now.
she says.
You guys don't know.
Love when the DM says they need more.
Oh, it's
dice.
hilarious.
Well, maybe I plan it that way. I don't put out enough dice to begin with, just so that I'll have to say that.
The next step is I need a dice calculator.
Yeah. Okay. And then. Okay. That's. That's going to be 35 piercing damage.
Okay. So note to self, bites are worse. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Alaric, I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Oh, bites are much worse. All right.
Technically, this is a
Plus
separate
4 if you're within
action.
30 feet.
Doesn't that work?
It does.
Oh. Ooh. Oh,
It
sweet.
does, though. It does work.
Okay, so what is the effect?
+4 to saving throw.
+4? Okay.
Yeah. Technically, this is a separate action from the bite.
That is adding 18.
That's a fail.
That's what I thought.
All of you watch as Alaric vanishes.
No!
Yep, just
I
disappears.
just yell at him like, why does he always do that?
Is he mad at me too?
Gotta stick with the plan.
All right, so that was the Dreadnought's turn. As you guys are having this combat, in the meantime, Amethyst, you had explained to Arius that he and the tree should stay safe, protect themselves, but that you needed to help your friends. And so you had made your way out, and you are seeing now, as you emerge through a little tunnel in the shell provided helpfully by Arius that seals up behind you, you see now that the Armada has arranged itself into this enormous sphere. You're not going to be able to arrive this round, but you are on your way.
Okay.
In the meantime, though, all of you there are fighting, and this includes Alaric, which I will give you more information in a moment. You hear in your head a voice. I shall tell you a story, dear ones. This is a story of brave mortals who set out to save their home from evil. They faced many challenges, made new friends who joined their quest, and they grew very powerful. But the longer their quest went on, the more evil eluded them. At every turn, instead of malevolence, they found difficult choices. Enemies could become allies. Allies could become enemies. They asked important questions and were given too many answers. More answers than could all be true. Choices. All right, Kat, you're up. Oh, you're muted?
You're muted, baby.
Sorry. Ket's going to take out his magical harp
Okay.
and play it and cast Firestorm on it.
Okay. Are you, like... I mean, I assume you're positioning it so that it is, like, what is the range, what is the area that you are creating with this Firestorm in?
Well, it's a 10-foot cone, 10-foot cube, so it's going to be like right on its
Well,
belly.
it's multiple 10-foot cubes, though, right?
Yeah, but I can. Well, the area of the storm consists of up to 10, but I know that I can't hit it with 10, so I'm just going to hit it with 1.
Okay, so you're really just putting just the one spot
Yeah.
right on it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, so 10-foot cube. Let me just make a 10-foot cube, and then I'll put it on there. Because that's concentration, right? It'll stay up.
Oh no, Firestorm is just a hit. It's got to make a dex
okay.
save. Yeah.
All right, dex save.
Yeah.
Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, so the dex save for this thing is not the best. Let's see. And it rolled a natural 1. That's still a 6, but
All right.
it probably fails.
So it takes 7d10 fire damage,
Very nice.
and that's going to be 44 points of fire damage.
All right.
And I will use my movement to go 60 feet towards it.
Okay. You see it roar out in pain as this fire washes over it. How much movement to go
Actually,
towards it?
I just want to go. Move me 30 feet south.
South? Okay.
Yeah.
10, 20, 30.
And then
All right,
another
Need to,
and then sorry, another 30 feet towards it.
All right. Okay, 10, 20, 30.
Yep, that's
All
good.
right.
All right, it's my turn.
I'm having to manage the Zoom now to keep all of you on the field. I don't think I can quite. There we go.
That's fine. I know where I am down there. You can, when it's not my turn, you can go back up. It's fine.
All right. Alaric, you find yourself in a cave. It appears to be some sort of sealed off, enclosed space with what looks like a natural rocky wall and ceiling. This place is perhaps perhaps 1,000 feet across, and there's a stony floor that is just littered with detritus of all sorts. And you are that's where you are. What do you do?
Scratch my head for a moment, I suppose, and then does it look like I was a made cave or a natural cave?
It's make a perception check. You have your stone cutting thing, right? So I think you could probably apply that however it works.
That's a good question. I'm trying to remember myself. It's been so long since I've been surrounded by stone. It feels good. Let's see. Dwarven stone cutting. Intelligence history check related to the origin of stonework. I'm proficient and double my proficiency bonus on the check. But is this a stonework?
I will let you add that proficiency.
Okay. Okay. Wow, really? Holy crap. I've got to calculate it because I got an extra. I'm also extra bonus with. Man, this is a lot. So that would be. I only rolled a 3, so that's an 18.
Okay. Excuse me. You get the feeling that this is magically created, if anything, but it does not look like other spells that you have seen that shape stone, like, for example, stone shape. But the texture is rough and irregular, but the shape of the space feels slightly too, too regular a shape to just be a completely natural formation. But it's odd. It's not like any other type of work you've seen before.
And the detritus, does it resemble anything at all?
Make an investigation check.
Non-natural 20.
Your first guess is that it is thousands of people's worth of decaying armor and weapons. And mixed in a bit, bones. And then you reappear where you were. Boop.
Oh.
You disappear from that cave and you are back on the battlefield.
Probably a bit disoriented.
Yeah. That happens at the end of your turn, so it is.
Okay.
Try to get everyone on there. Okay. So that was the end of Alaric's turn. And Cadence, you're up.
I look back at Nira. And I just stay where I am and I fire arrows at it again.
Okay.
I'm not going to leave her here.
Sure.
So. That is a 29.
Hits.
And that is 13 points of damage.
Okay. But once again, the magic seems to vanish from it as it travels, and it's not doing as much damage as you would hope.
Even though they're regular arrows, just because it's coming from a magic bow?
Well, they're no longer magical, is your impression, once they hit it.
Okay.
Normally they would be, but they doesn't seem to be working that way this time.
29.
Hits, yeah.
And that's 12 points of damage.
All right. Yeah, you're poking at it. You're hurting it, but not as much as it usually would.
That's it.
Okay. That makes it Otterkey, your turn.
right, I'm going to keep moving towards it. I'm trying to get behind it.
Okay. So what I'm actually going to do here, if you want to kind of try to surround it in that way, is I'm going to try to see if I can select everybody and move you a little bit more in this direction on the map to allow that. And then move the cone correspondingly. Okay. So you're wanting to move which direction?
I would be southwest. I mean, towards it. I want to get behind it.
Okay. So 10. So let's see. You're wanting to go around this way. So like 10.
Like literally, I want to get on its back.
Oh, like here?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think if you're going straight to that spot, you feel slightly strange at that spot, but your steed does not reappear in that position. But you feel like you're maybe on the border of something. I'll allow that you feel a strange sort of buzzy, flickery feeling where you're used to feeling magic. All right, so that's your movement?
Yeah, well, my intent is to get at its physical, the back of it, between its shoulder blades, and grab one of my pitons and my smith hammer and try to drive the piton into its back to keep me attached to it.
Okay, interesting. Okay, make an athletics check for that.
Athletics, which I'm very good at, plus 11. 16.
You feel like this could work, but that wasn't good enough. You did not find a you found a hard spot on its armor and it weren't able to make it penetrate.
Can I try as a second attack? Or is that more of an action?
I think it was your action to try to pound it
Cool.
in because you're having to get everything ready.
Right on.
Get out the hammer and all that. Okay.
Cool.
Nira, you're up.
So I'm like kind of limited in what I can do here because honestly, I'm terrified I'm going to blink out of existence if I get anywhere near this thing. And nobody is hurt right now that I, can get to. I don't think I have range. Well, Archie got hit. Actually, I could do that. And all I know is that I cast my Beacon of Hope thing. So, I'm going to cast Healing. Nope, because that has to be 60 feet. Yeah, there's not like anything that.
You are currently
stuck.
105 feet from Alaric and 130 feet from Autarky.
Yeah. I don't. Let's see. And Cat is down there. I mean, I could use the cloak to move, but to what end? Like I've got nothing right now.
All right.
I'm just stuck.
Nira passes.
Yep.
All right. It is the Dreadnought's turn again. It rotates its gaze down at you, Ket. Alright. And then... Actually, no, I take it back. It doesn't rotate it that far. What it does is it tries to... I'm trying to think. No, yeah, okay, sorry. Just have to plan it appropriately here. let's see. Yeah, it's basically trying to keep. It's trying to see if it can keep Alaric in it, and also Ket. Even though Alaric, that its field doesn't seem to be negating your axe the way it might expect. So I think at this point in this position, in this configuration, Cadence, you feel the spell wink out on you.
Okay.
Yeah, so you feel the beacon wink out on you, and as it turns its gaze, and you realize, each of you, especially Autarky and Alaric, as you're close up there, when you're staring down this thing's eyes, there's something that you would hesitate to admit, even maybe to yourself consciously, but what you feel like you see in its eye is your own death. And so as it turns its direction, it turns its eye in your direction, Ket, it makes another round of attacks against Autarky and Alaric. It's going to be another claw attack at you, Autarky.
Okay.
That's going to be 26 to hit.
Yep.
And that's 17 slashing damage.
Okay.
And that's another a claw and attack and bite attack against you, Alara.
I've learned to let the claw hit me.
So the claw is going to be a 27 to hit.
Yep.
And 20 slashing damage.
Okay.
And then the bite is another 21 to hit.
Close.
Misses?
No. God, no.
Okay, well, I don't know. You have shield sometimes. I don't remember what that gets you to.
I don't in this particular incarnation because
okay.
Nothing magical happens. So.
Right.
But I am going to dodge, or uncanny dodge.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, You're thinking. All right, so, it would be 39 piercing damage.
Okay, so...
but halved, so...
19?
Yeah.
Oof, okay.
All right. And that is its round of attacks. But, Ket, make a charisma saving throw.
You're muted.
27.
All right. That is a success. You feel yourself briefly compressed, as though magic is trying to shunt you somewhere. It's a little bit similar to the feeling when you step across the threshold of your mansion, but you were able to resist its pull, and you are not transported.
Okay.
All right. But at this point, you all hear a keening wail of rage begin to emanate, and emerging out of the central torso of this thing, you see an array of ghostly figures. Let me reveal them here. And let's see, get them where I can move them. You see what appears to be a ghostly, spectral, wispy, translucent series of what looked like perhaps a Githyanki raiding party. And one of them, carrying a spectral longsword, points it at you and shouts something angrily in Gith. And let's have them enter their enter the initiative there. And I think, like this guy is the only one that moves up first, and he's going to move 10, 20, 30. Yeah, he's dashing and not attacking this turn, but he basically charges up to you, Alaric, who, had kind of been the most in this thing's face so far. And it's basically gesticulating angrily at you with its ghostly sword. And that is its turn. We're at the top of the initiative again, and once again, you hear a voice in your head. The story continues. One day, an army asked the heroes to slay a powerful creature. In exchange, they dangled the possibility of respect and cooperation. But in their hearts, this army hoped that the heroes would perish against their foe, because this was the simple outcome the army longed for. The heroes did not perish, but emerged from the fight exhausted and weary. The army took advantage of their momentary weakness and took them prisoner, stripped them of their powers, and tortured them for information. Then the army did what was in its nature and destroyed all of existence. Amethyst, you have been racing at top speed to arrive in the fray, penetrating this spherical arena of Githyanki ships, and go ahead and roll initiative.
8.
All right. But you are on the field.
I'm on the field.
Yeah.
Wondering, WTF.
All right. All right. And, yeah. Okay. And then at this point, it's going to use another one of its legendary actions to make another claw attack at you, Alaric. It's very focused on you at the moment.
Well, it's going to get more focused.
That's another 21 to hit.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's 24 slashing damage.
All right.
All right. Ket, you're up. You're muted.
I'm going to move 30 feet west towards it.
Okay.
Can you move the map up a little bit so I can see myself?
Yeah. That's why you guys
Yep, there we go.
has made life difficult for me. All right.
Yep.
So
All right.
10, 20, 30.
And then I'm going to cast Cone of Cold at it.
Okay. What's the range of that?
Oh wait, Cone of Cold is 60 feet.
Okay.
Am I within 60 feet?
I think probably. Let me double check. We can measure you, but you're not. Yeah, you're within 60 feet.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So
I think you'll
cast
get just the Dreadnought and not any of these ghostly figures, though.
Okay. So that's a Constitution saving throw.
All right. Constitution. Oh, they rolled low, so that's 11.
All right, so that fails. So it takes 8d8 damage,
All right.
and that is going to be 41 points of damage.
Very nice. Yeah.
And then I will move another 30 feet south.
All right. Another 30 feet south. You're making it impossible for me to have everyone on the map. This is all your fault. I'm going to zoom us out more. Yeah, guys have to be super tiny.
That's
okay.
fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's all
We
fine.
know where we are. That's good.
10, 20, 30.
Yep.
Okay. All right. At this time, it is Alaric's turn.
All right. One of these buggers in my face, huh?
Mm-hmm.
He's within melee range or almost within melee range?
No, he's right in your face.
Yeah, I got to take a swing at him then.
Okay.
That is 23 to hit.
That hits.
And it's sneak attack damage because I'm the only one near him.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Let's see if that works. Let's see. 18 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And then I keep on trucking
All right.
because I'm going to go for the head,
Okay.
specifically the eye.
Oh, on the Dreadnought, not the guy?
Yep, I'm ignoring him now.
All right.
He's done.
Okay.
But I'm fancy with my footwork, so
All right,
it doesn't get a chance to strike me on my
You're
body.
wanting to make melee, or you're throwing?
No, I'm running. I'm moving, flying right for the eye
Okay.
of the Dreadnought.
So if you're going right for the eye, I'll put you kind of over the top, but you are certainly in its field of vision.
Yep.
Yep. All right.
And I'm using my remaining attacks to try to target the eye.
Okay. So
Is
the
it
way
probably
I'm going to
bigger than
rule
mine?
that is it's kind of like a called shot, right?
Okay.
If you want to have some effect that's not just general damage, but to hit the eye specifically, I mean, the usual, I think, way to do that is that it's a -5 to your attack roll.
All right, I can accept that.
All right.
So first attack, or well, second attack, natural 20. Oh God.
Okay.
I hope this works. I really hope this works. All right. Sadly, I used my my sneak attack damage. That was dumb.
All right.
But I do another 30 points.
Okay.
And now I roll my second d20. I want to get this at least once. That's not. I can see the 20 from here, but it's not an actual.
What was the what was the total?
30 points of damage.
Okay, I got the 30, and then I thought
Yep.
you made another attack.
Th-
No.
Nope. This is the second roll when I get
Oh,
a
okay,
natural
I see.
20 with
Okay.
that.
All right.
But
So that's
now-
your last
now-
attack.
Nope, that was the second attack.
Okay.
Now my
So
third attack of the round.
all right. Well, that's what I was waiting for. Go
Sorry.
ahead.
That is a 30 to hit.
Okay. Yeah, that hits. Was that with the -5?
Sorry, 25 to hit.
Okay, still hits.
For 12 points of damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I will say that for the moment, you make it blink its eye shut.
Cool.
Which I'm not going to delete the little field here, but you feel that for now it is it is closed its eye. By the way, when it turned its field of vision, Archie, your steed came back.
Sweet.
I'm going to take an
Magic.
action surge
Okay.
Keep doing that.
for 3 more attacks.
All right.
I'm crit finding. Damn it, it rolled over from the 20 again, but that's 21 to hit.
Okay. 21 just hits.
For 13 points of slashing damage.
All right. You're hurting this thing. It's definitely starting to wane here.
24 to hit.
Oh, okay. Right. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's an action surge, so I get
Uh-huh.
all 3 attacks again. So 24 to hit, doing 12 points of damage.
Mhm.
And then the third one, damn it, it rolled over from the 20 again. That's a 21 to hit again
All right. Yeah.
for 14 points of damage.
Okay.
Then I'm going to take my bonus action to use a second wind.
Okay.
'Cause I need it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool, maxed out. Oh, and then the other. Cool, they both maxed out.
All right.
And I am way done. Oh, no, I'm in the cone. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. You are in the cone. So yeah, the second wind is not a magic thing. All right.
Isn't the cone closed though because he closed his eye? right
It
now?
is. Yes, it is temporarily closed.
So does
He
that
would have
mean my,
maxed anyway because of the nearest spell, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, actually maybe.
Yeah, it
It's
was
a
like
weird
max
one.
healing.
It's not an actual healing you just regain, but probably is. One question then: do my duplicates reappear?
I'm going to say no because you would have had to maintain concentration, right? And you've taken a lot of damage.
Actually, is that one concentration? Just
Is
double
it
check.
not?
It is not.
Okay. Well, I guess they do then. Mirror image is not concentration. That seems really unlikely to
That's
me.
why I
but-
chose that one. Blur is actually concentration.
All right. Well, fine then. You guys are too high a level. It makes everything really complicated and hard.
If it helps you, I've nearly died, so you know.
Well, I'm gonna kill you now. So.
Excellent.
All right, so you briefly have 3 more of these things. All right, so at this point, after Alaric's turn, all of these remaining wraiths are swarming up to attack you. So they're
This is why I was
obviously
asking.
each going to have, yeah.
This
So
is
they're going to
fascinating,
each
that.
make their roll against your mirror images.
Yep.
Okay, so this is 6 attacks. The first one is 25 to hit.
That's a hit, and it actually hit me. Damn it!
Okay. You are going to let's see.
Do I have to roll under or over? Just one. Sorry, 1 second. I have to check if it's under. I must roll. Yeah, no, I have to roll. Yeah, I rolled a 3. I didn't make
Okay.
it. Okay, it hits me.
So you're gonna take. Where's my other D8? There. That's 20 necrotic damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy. That is a 12.
Your maximum hit points are reduced by 20.
Woo. All right, let's see if I can.
All right. Second attack. That one's only a 13 to hit.
That misses.
Third is a 21 to hit.
Oh, right.
Yep.
It hits a duplicate.
Okay, 1 duplicate down. All right, that was the third wraith. Fourth, that's going to be 23 to hit.
It hits.
All right, it hits you.
Yes.
All right, this is what you get for being so effective. 6. Wait, no, excuse me. That's another 24 necrotic damage and another Constitution saving throw.
Alrighty. Interesting question. Nope, it's not a wisdom saving throw anyway. Never mind. But honor key gives me a bonus on this, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Saves, yeah. +4.
But I rolled another 4, so that's even with that +4, 16.
All right. Your hit point maximum is reduced by another 24. Was that the 4th wraith or the 5th?
That is the 4th one, I think.
All right. Got 2 more. 5th is only going to be a 13 to hit.
That's a miss.
And then the last one is only an 11 to hit.
That's a miss.
But you see that these wraith-like Githyanki seem just furious with you, and they're trying to pull at you. Like, as they are making this attack, you get the sense that they, like a drowning person, are trying to save themselves by pulling at your life force. And when they manage to seize some and pull it away, it doesn't actually end up helping them, but it certainly hurts you, and they're going to keep trying. They do not seem any less desperate for having succeeded once. That is the Wraith's turn. So, Cadence, that's you next. I think you certainly would see Alaric being swarmed.
Yeah. So I'm going to fire a shot at one of the wraiths.
Okay.
I'm going to do sharpshooter.
All right.
That is 32.
Definitely hits.
So that's 8 plus 9, 17 plus 10, so 27.
Okay.
And then I'm going to teleport 10 feet and fire a shot at another one.
All right.
Sharpshooter. That is 31.
Okay, definitely hits.
14, 24.
All right.
And I teleport 10 more feet
All right.
towards the thing.
All right.
And fire at a third one.
Okay.
And that is 19.
Hits.
Okay. And I did not say sharpshooter that time, so 11 points of damage.
Okay. All right, so you are making these attacks, and you definitely, I'll say, it's obvious at this point. Alaric made it close its eye, and now you feel like your magic is unimpeded for the moment, at least. So I think you can certainly draw the conclusion now that it seems to be coming from its eye.
Okay, I've been trying to pay attention to that too.
Yeah, no, so I'll say
Yeah.
it's clear now to Cadence, at least,
Okay.
that that's what's happening, and I think Alaric's figured it out too, which is why he went for the eye, so, yeah. Okay, that's Cadence's turn. It is Otterkey's turn.
Otterkey is going to reach with his mind to tell his steed, please help Alaric take on those wraiths.
Okay. How does
And
it
if
do
it
that?
so does that, then it would fly towards the closest one and would take a Hoove attack,
All right.
which is, the only attack it has, actually. So,
I mean, it's a Pegasus. What do you want it to do?
yeah, right? Soft 20.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
Whoops. 11, 12, 15 points of hoof damage.
You too. Yeah, lashes out. This is, well, you know what? I think you recognize that although this is a magical creature, its hooves do not do magical damage, and
Okay.
unless the stats say it does. I mean,
Hooves, it just says melee weapon attack, and it just says bludgeoning damage.
yeah. Okay, so in that case, then you find that its hooves are partially just passing through the ethereal nature of these wraith-like wraiths.
Cool. So while it does that, I'm going to use my action to try to hammer her away again. Hammer another
Okay.
piton.
Make an athletics check.
25.
Yeah, you penetrate this time, and the piton is held fast.
All right. Let's see.
What were you hoping to do from there? What's your next step?
So my next step. So my thought is that it's going to keep me on its back, and so as a bonus action, I will cast Compelled Duel,
Okay.
and so it makes. There we go. It makes a Wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Versus DC 18. Attempt to compel a creature into a duel. So it'll have disadvantage on attacks that aren't against me.
All right. Well, so it rolls a 16, but it's choosing to succeed anyway with one of its legendary
Alright.
resistances.
Legendary!
Yeah. All right. Nira, you're up.
Okay.
There's a lot going on down there.
Yeah, there is. And I am not close enough to do anything except one thing. However, because I see what's happening to Alaric, I think,
Mhm.
right? I can see that. Like, I'm not impeded
Well, I
in
mean,
any way.
yeah, it's far away, but you can certainly see him swarmed.
Right, so I'm trying to remember, does using the Bamf cape count as an action or as a movement?
It's an action.
It's an action.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I am going to Bamf myself to the other side of this thing.
Okay.
Poof.
Like here?
A little bit further away.
All right.
And I am going to cast heal on Alaric.
Okay. What's
Wait,
the range
no,
for heal?
that's hold on, that's an action. I can't do that. So I, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Word because that is all I can do.
Okay.
But I'm going to do it at. I think I will do it at level 4.
All right.
What's the word, Nira? What's the word?
And so
Heal.
is my Shield of Faith or my Beacon of Hope should be up on him because that eye is closed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so he will take 2d4 plus
heal,
5.
hopefully.
But it's maxed. So no, not second level. 4d4 plus 5. So 4 times 4 is 16 plus 5, so 21 is what he gets.
Very nice.
You're handy.
All right. So that is your turn, and so now it is the Dreadnought's turn. I am, the adjudication of how exactly the eye closed working. I'm going to say at this time it is using a secondary legendary resistance to be done with that, and it is open its eye again. So I'm just saying, you're getting some fair play there. I hope you appreciate it. But yeah, it's turning the eye back on. Your duplicates disappear. Its eye is open, Alaric, and it's still going for you. So that's going to be first to claw. I got a natural 20.
Well, there's not much I can say about that then.
So...
Although I think I will uncannily dodge this one.
Sure, that seems prudent. Uh, 34 slashing damage.
So 17?
Yes.
Or is that halved already?
No. That's the half. So 17. So, yeah. Second claw attack. That's only a 19.
That still hits.
All right. That's going to be 17 slashing damage.
Okay.
And then it's going to try to bite you. Uh, 18.
That's it.
All right. That, incidentally, was rolling a 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. 6. It's 26 piercing damage.
All right.
Are you still up?
Yep.
All right. That is its turn. And then it's going to also follow that up with I need everyone within 60 feet of it to make a wisdom saving throw. I think that Cadence is certainly out of range. Ket is. But yeah, so Amethyst, Cadence, and Ket are out of range, but I need Autarky, Alaric, and
If you
Nira
are not
to make it.
If you're not within range of the eye, you have advantage on this throw.
It's been a while since I got it, but I'm going to spend my inspiration to get advantage on it.
Okay.
It's only 15.
15 is a fail.
I'm going to use my Indomitable to try again.
Okay.
That's worse.
Oh, well.
It's always worse when I do that.
26 for me.
26. Okay. 26 is a success. Autarky?
21.
Okay. And your Pegasus?
Oh, your
21 is the success.
Peggy. Wisdom. 6.
All right. This is a surprisingly weak attack, honestly. But now that I'm just looking at it, I also rolled low. So if you failed by getting an 18 or lower, then you take 9 psychic damage. Otherwise, you're taking 4 psychic damage. All right. I'm unimpressed, honestly, with that attack now that I'm looking at it. All right, that's fine because it's just doing its thing. That's the Dreadnought's turn. Now it is the Sword Wraith Commander's turn. And I think it is going to it's looking at, let's see, who does it think is its biggest target right now? Certainly Alaric is already surrounded by its others. Fellas, so I think it's going for you, Otterkey, as being the other sort of closest, obvious fighter target. And in fact, actually, you know what? Make an insight check with advantage.
Okay. Is that 13 or 15? That's 15, so 20.
You are picking up the flickerings of these psionic, vibrations everywhere around you. And what you realize as this wraith-like figure comes at you is that this is the last Githyanki that tried to slay this Dreadnought. And it will not abide a non-Githyanki succeeding where it failed. And so it's coming after you with its ghostly longsword. All right, and then so that's going to be one. The first attack is a natural one, so that's gonna miss. But then that's only a 15 to hit.
Miss.
It's going to use its bonus action to make one more. That's a little better. That's a 26 to hit.
That'll hit.
You take 12 necrotic damage. But you see that by making that last attack, it's overextended itself a little bit. It's kind of at your mercy now. You would have advantage on your next attacks against it. All right. That is its turn. Amethyst, you're up. Your friends are in a mess of trouble.
So I just looked and I don't see the Twitch overlay that has hit points, so I'm just gonna have to ask Alaric, what's your hit points looking like, Alaric? 3?
It's pretty low, yeah.
You have 3 hit points? Alright.
Still surrounded by wraiths, too.
Uh-huh.
In an anti-magic cone.
Yeah. So I'm really far.
Yeah.
Christiana, if for critters, are you allowing their flight speed, or are they traveling by intelligence times 3?
You know what? I allowed it for the find steed, so I'll say that conjured, they will move what their normal movement speed will be.
Sweet. Then it's somewhat of a new development. I know I haven't ruled it that way with past game rounds, but that's what we're doing today.
It is just a special case.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Where's that? Trying to figure out how I can get close enough to him.
Yeah. You are currently,
focus on something else.
You're currently 165 feet from Alaric at the moment.
Wait, Jesus. 100 and how far?
65.
165. So I'd like to use my movement to get, I think my movement speed is 48, so I'd like to get closer.
Okay.
All
right, so I think 5, 10, and I think when you get to this point right here, which is only 20 feet, I think at this point, I'm going to rule that you just intuitively sense that you have entered a place where magic is not going to work properly. So you can choose to change your direction or however you want to handle that. But you realize that if you continue going straight in the current direction, your magic is not going to work.
Okay. Then I'm going to hold there and I'm gonna cast.
So back just out of the field.
I'm 120 feet from it, or you said?
Well, you were
190.
Yeah, so now you're 150 feet.
Now
Well,
I'm
depending on what you're wanting, where you're wanting to cast. So, like from Alaric, you're 150 feet. From the closest point on this creature, you're 115 feet.
Okay. Then, and Elaric is on top of it, right? Yeah.
He's right in front of its eye.
Okay.
And also surrounded by wraiths and a couple of his own duplicates.
Okay.
Well, actually, the duplicates vanished again when the eye opened.
Eye opened, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. I'm gonna cast Moonbeam, which has 120-foot range on it.
Okay.
And it's a 5-foot radius, and I'm gonna go for so 120 feet. I'm just gonna try and go for that elbow, for that claw that's closest to me, that's within range.
All right, so I think you expend the spell and you find that the moonlight, although it begins to form, as soon as it enters this cone of his vision, it's just nothing.
Okay, so it's not me, it's anything with the...
You have the spell, it's up and you're concentrating on it. You know you could move it, but where you currently were trying to have it, it just dissipates in the field of this thing's vision.
Okay.
So the spell is cast and you're concentrating on it, it just doesn't appear within that cone.
And I can't move the rest of my movement speed to the far left to try and get out of that cone. I probably can't see where
You
the
can
cone is.
actually, if you want. I mean,
I'd like to try, yeah.
You can try. You don't know. You can't see where it is, but you can feel when you're in it or out of it.
Okay.
So you have, 10, 20, 30. I'll say you could do that and get just out of it based on from your movement before.
Am I close enough to hit any tip of it that's not in its cone?
Well, you used your action already to cast it, right? Yeah, so you have the spell up. You know that on your next turn, like the Moonbeam spell normally works, you could move the Moonbeam out of the cone, and you feel like it would appear again as soon as it's not in that cone.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. All right. That was Amethyst's turn. It's the top of the round again, and once again, you hear the Fey Queen's voice continue. But I know another story, which starts the same as the last, but diverges with a single choice. In this story, during the fight, the heroes sought the favor of a beautiful queen. They swore to fulfill a task for her, and then found themselves overwhelmed by the bounty of gifts that she bestowed upon them. The queen asked the heroes whether they wished to see the army destroyed or sent away to do the heroes' bidding. The heroes were given the freedom to keep the bauble they protected and use it how they liked. Even their small friend, left behind so long ago, was released from captivity. All former trespasses were forgiven, and what brought the heroes the most joy was the knowledge that their favorite tree would be protected. Ket, you're up.
Oh. I will. Man, I'm going to think on that. And in the meantime, I will cast Finger of Death on it.
Okay. What's the saving throw
It's
that it
a
makes?
con save.
Alright. Uh-huh.
Whenever you see
That's
Finger of Death, all I can think of is the Family Guy evil monkey.
Yeah. It's a 23 on its con save.
Yeah. So half a 68. So 34.
Okay. That's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing is definitely taken a lot of damage. It's clearly quite injured.
And then I will move. I'll just stay where I am.
Okay. All right. Alaric, you're up. You're surrounded by these wraiths. This thing is right in your right up next to you.
Yeah, that's fine. I will use my bonus action to disengage.
Okay.
I will use my move to move approximately, I guess, northwest from it.
Okay.
Kind of splitting the arc between Otterkey and Nira. A little
Okay.
closer to Otterkey.
How far?
That's a 48 movement.
Okay. So, let's see. That's 10, 15. So like this direction? 20,
Yeah.
25, 30, 35, 45. Like that would be 45.
That's perfect.
Okay.
I can see a bundle of those wraith type things that are outside of the effect, or I guess I don't see the effect, but I kind of know where that is.
Right.
I know where its eye is
Also,
facing.
you did see that they seemed unaffected by it.
Sure. So that's within 60 feet of me, which is pretty handy, and they're pretty close to the thing. They're probably within 20 feet of it.
Mm-hmm.
So in the bundle of them and trying to catch it on the edge, I cast Shatter.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
Constitution saving throw, 10-foot radius.
All right. So Constitution saving throw first for the Dreadnought.
Yeah.
That is 23 to succeed.
Yeah.
And then for the wraiths, I assume you're making sure not to get in, the Pegasus or Archie or any of
No, more of the southern ones that I was close to.
Yeah. Okay, so let's roll 6 of those Constitution saving. Wait, so what kind of damage is this?
This is what kind of damage is this?
Thunder
damage, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. So they are rolling. Let's see. We got a 16, a 19, another 16, a 21.
So the threshold is 17.
Okay. So that's 2 successes and 2 failures so far, and then 2 more failures with a
Okay.
a
So the ones
5
that
and a
fail,
9.
ones that fail take 18 points of thunder damage.
Okay.
The ones that succeed take 9.
Okay. So you notice that the shockwave of this spell seems to partially pass through their ethereal forms. Right.
And my duplicates return.
They do, yes. And then
And it looks slightly healthier.
let's see, 36. Okay. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I'm just having to adjust the damage on all of those little creature tracker things. And then, yeah. Okay, that's your turn, and you got your duplicates back, just 2 of them.
Yep.
All right. That was Alaric's turn. It is the Wraith's turn now. I'm afraid they're pursuing you. Let's see. I think not all of them. Why wouldn't they all pursue you? I'm just trying to think if they would. I don't think they have any reason to split up.
I think I really made them
They
mad.
don't have allegiance to their sword captain.
And I don't know. I mean, they're all in the same business here.
And they can all move that far?
Yep.
Pegasus get one.
They have 60 feet.
Attack on one of them.
Yes.
What is its bonus? It is a 16.
That hits.
10 points.
Okay. It doesn't hurt them as much as it normally would because they're ghosts. But yeah, it does.
Fair
It
enough.
does hit one though. But yeah, they're all coming up after you, Alaric. You are threatening to achieve the glory that was denied them. And they will not see that done. So let's see. The first, I'm gonna just roll 3 attacks at once here. That's a 13, which probably misses, right?
Yep.
And then a 11, which is gonna miss, and then a 21.
Hits one of the duplicates.
All right. All right. And now 3 more. That's a 17.
It's me.
Okay. And then there was also a 23 and a 12. So that's two hits.
The second one's probably not going to matter, but we'll see.
Well, okay. I'll roll the damage for that first one then. Okay.
I managed to get my rally and get back to 4 hit points, so we'll see.
23.
That's higher than 4.
Go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw.
All right, natural 20.
Okay, so that's not a death save though, so nothing happens, but you do succeed, and your hit point maximum is not reduced.
Oh, that's good.
But you do go unconscious.
I do.
Or I assume you do. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
And I'm safe. So good, no problem.
All right. So one thing I'm not sure if we have adjudicated. The regeneration feature of your axe.
I think I have to be conscious for that.
That's what I was thinking, and I just couldn't remember if I had made that explicit or not.
I have to have at least 1 hit point.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So, yes, the other duplicate fails, and you guys do see, Alaric seems to...
I mean, there's no reason the duplicate would fail.
Oh,
it's not a concentration spell.
I guess so. That's weird, though. All right, sure. Why not, though? So yeah, you guys see 2 Alarics sort of go limp and just sort of float there, surrounded by these wraiths. Cadence.
All right. I'm gonna because we've been gauging the perimeter of this effect, I'm gonna see how far I have to move forward before I feel the effects of Nira's spell resume.
Yeah, you find that you're just right on the edge, and you just move a little bit, and it's back up.
Okay, so I'm going to fire a shot at the wraiths that were attacking Alaric.
Okay.
With sharpshooter.
Mm-hmm.
And that is 17.
Okay, 17 hits.
Okay.
These regular wraiths are not terribly difficult to hit.
Okay, so that's 26 points of damage.
Okay, yeah. There you go.
And I move forward, I teleport 10 feet forward.
All right.
Fire at another one with sharpshooter. That's a natural 20.
Very nice.
Nice.
Ooh.
Remember the new rule that I established for crits, which is, I think I forgot to mention this earlier with some of the other crits, but you can, instead of just rolling double, you can take the max of what one roll would be and then roll a second, normal set. Okay. So, roll normal damage, but then also add to it the max of what those rolls would be.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Are you following the math there?
Kind of.
So, if it was 2d6 plus 1, say, right? You would roll 2d6 plus 1 and say you got a 3, a 5, and that would be 8 plus 1 is 9. And then you would add 2d6, which is 12, to it.
Okay. Okay, so 15.
If you guys don't like that, then because it's more complicated, that's fine. We can ditch it. But it sort of makes sure that you don't have the situation where you double the dice, but then you roll 2 ones and it just sucks.
Right. So that's 32 points of damage.
All right.
And I teleport 10 feet again.
Okay. A couple of these things are very poorly.
I fire at a third one with sharpshooter.
Mm-hmm.
And that is only 14.
14 still hits.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's 11 points of damage.
Okay. All right.
Actually, no, it's 21. Sorry, I forgot to add the 10 for sharpshooter.
Okay. Otterkey, you're
Yeah.
getting a claw attack from the Dreadnought.
It can reach its back.
Yeah. Has it these big long claw arms? It's just going clunk, clunk, clunk.
Ah.
Were you specifically trying to be in a place where it couldn't reach?
Yeah.
I didn't really think about that. So how
I thought
about
it was
this?
so big, so yeah.
How about
Yeah,
this? Make a nature check retroactively to see if you were able to see a spot where
Right.
you think it wouldn't be able to reach.
Sure. 3! I have no idea.
No, I think you were hoping for that, but unfortunately, it seems to be more
Yeah.
limber than you expected. So,
Okay. Bring it on, big boy.
yeah, so that's going to be a 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. And then... that is 19 slashing damage.
Okay.
And then it's actually making another one against your Pegasus. That's going to be a 21 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
And that's going to be 19 slashing damage. All right. And that makes it now your turn.
I am going to... I'm going to cast Aura of Life,
Okay.
which is a 30-foot radius aura.
Mm-hmm.
Concentration until it ends. Each non-hostile creature, gains 1 hit point at the start of their turn. And has resistance to necrotic damage.
Okay.
And their hit points cannot be reduced. Or, I mean, their hit point max can't be reduced by necrotic.
Thanks for rolling out that now.
Well, I didn't know until
I
I
was busy.
saw it happen. Yeah. So that's my action. Bonus action.
Always got to be a demo case, don't I?
Think I can do anything other than tell the horse to attack the monster.
All right. So that's your aura.
Yeah, I don't
are
have
you
any
are you
other-
moving or are you staying put?
I'm tethered, so I can't really move.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately Alaric is outside the range of that aura.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'll shout out.
But you're within the range. Okay, so your Pegasus makes its attack?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
go for it. Mhm.
So 24.
Hits?
Sorry.
Hiya! With a
Alright.
hoof.
Hiya! Hoof. 9 points.
That does not kill it, but how funny would that be? Okay, so that it stomps really mad on this thing's big old eyebrow. All right, that is Nira's turn.
He always gets himself into trouble.
Sure does.
All right.
It's
So I
almost
gotta
like
be
he likes
within
being
30
rescued or
feet of
something.
those wraiths.
Okay, you are not currently within 30 feet of the wraiths.
I know. I have to move there.
Yeah, okay, so how close? You want to be just within 30 feet of the wraiths?
Yeah.
All of them? You want to be able to hit all of them?
Yep.
All right. So if you want, you could try to get the commander also, but that would mean being closer to this Dreadnought.
Sure. Just put me. How. Yeah.
You would have to be basically right in the middle. Like you'd have to be pretty close to it right there to get
Yeah.
all of the ghosts.
I'm more concerned with Alaric right now.
Okay.
So I'm just going to move so that I can just get the wraiths. And
Okay, so
keep
let's
as much distance from the big guy as I can.
All right, so, oops. Hang on, let me. So you would need to be, yeah, basically, like right there.
Okay.
To have all of them within range.
Yep. So I'm going to do that, and then I am going to use Channel on Divinity, turn undead.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a...
What is the threshold for your destroy undead? I don't think it's this high.
It's CR4.
Okay, nope, it's not good enough.
Yeah.
Not to destroy them outright. So they are going to make their saving throws for resisting the turn, though.
Yeah, should be Wisdom 19 if it's the same as my spells and stuff.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so first 3 of them. That's going to be a 4, an 11, and a 6. Oh man, they all fail.
Yes!
So you realize all of these wraiths, all 6 of them are impacted by the powerful divine energy channeling out from you. And you know that on their turn, they will be forced to flee from you.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to hit, as bonus action, I'm going to hit Archie with Healing Word.
Okay.
And I will
Alaric is actually unconscious. You want to?
I'm aware.
Okay.
I'm getting to that, but I wanted to get rid of the wraiths first because it wouldn't do me any good to heal him, and then they converge again. So, I will do it at a level 5 Healing Word.
Okay.
Actually, Cure Wounds. Cure Wounds actually looks like it might be better, but it's not a bonus action. Never mind. So
I didn't skip you, did I, Kat? Did I skip you? I just feel like it's been a long time since you did anything. Okay.
But
it's just long rounds.
He should have Beacon of Hope up, so that is going to max out. So 5. No, that's Cure Wounds. That's the wrong one. Why do I have that up? Healing Word. Sorry. Where did it go? There it is. 5d4. So that's 25 hit points to Archie.
All right. And that is your turn. And yes. I think you realize as you moved up that you sense that the creature it hasn't turned to look at you. But now that it's its turn, it does. It reacts to your presence, and it is turning its big old field of vision in your direction.
Here I go.
Let me. There we go. I'm so zoomed out, it's hard to grab the little thing. So it is looking right at you. Hang on, let me. Yeah, probably. Well, it's fine. It's like that. You do not disappear.
Oh.
However, you do feel the effects of your ongoing spells cease. But what you also realize as this thing turns its gaze directly at you and you see in its eye a vision of your own death, you get the feeling that it senses your astral nature.
Oh no.
And likes that. And so it is its turn, and it is moving up to make a full round of attacks against you.
Jesus. Okay.
Just imagine it's like a big cat. It really likes you. And it's just kind of da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Pounce.
Okay. All right. So first is 34 to hit.
Yep.
And it's 17 slashing damage. Second attack is 31 to hit. And that's going to be 21 slashing damage. And then the bite attack is going to be 22 to hit.
Yep.
All right. Where's my... There we go. Okay. 23 piercing damage. But now you also need to make a charisma saving throw. And let's just double check. You are outside of Archie's range.
No, because Archie's going with the creature. He's attached to it.
Yeah, I am attached to its
Well,
back.
but Nira is more than 30 feet from Archie.
Either way,
So its range. Okay, cool.
it's a 28, so
Okay, your charisma
Yeah.
saving throw? Okay, 28.
yeah. I rolled a 19 plus I got a plus 9, so.
Oh, okay. I guess.
She's got
Yeah,
it
that's
like
a
that.
success.
Okay.
You
good.
feel for a moment as though something was trying to force you into a pocket plane, but it was unsuccessful in doing so. All right, that is the Dreadnought's turn. Archie, you still got this this wraith dude in your face.
Yeah.
He's
I
mad.
do not
He
like
doesn't
that.
like you. He doesn't like you at all. Not one bit.
I don't like him.
Yeah.
Do we need to update where the creature is since it lunged after Nira?
Okay. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
And
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I didn't even really think of it that way, but you're right. It doesn't have to get as far as you would think, though. Like, it only had to go that far to... and it would pull Archie along with it. And then this guy is... oops. This guy's pursuing you with his movement on his turn. And he is... yeah, he's coming after you with his spiritual longsword. So that's going to be a 15 to hit, and then a 24 to hit.
24 hits.
All right, and that's going to do only 5 slashing damage, but with
Okay.
his bonus action, he's making a third attack. You know, he's just desperately, lunging after you with fury. That's another 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
And this is the one that does the necrotic. So, so that would be a total of 10 necrotic damage. But if you have resistance to it from your,
Yeah.
but make sure is that a concentration you have to hold?
It is.
So go ahead and make the one check after that first attack.
Right. Let's see. What is my... So it's just a con with my con bonus? No.
Yeah, Constitution
Yeah.
saving throw.
Gotcha. 17.
That's a success. Yeah. So do make a second one after the second attack,
Gotcha.
but you're only going to take half the necrotic damage from the.
Gotcha. 14.
Okay. Yeah. So you hold your concentration.
Ooh, and I'll want to use my reaction to do that hellish rebuke back at it with
Yeah.
fire damage.
All right. He's going to make his dexterity saving throw. Gets a 14.
It needs an 18.
All right. Well, he fails then.
9. Oh man, I'm an idiot. Anyways,
Aw, beans.
it's wait, what is the damage? One reaction. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it's just 9 points of fire damage.
Okay. He takes it. All right. Despite the fact that he is not doing a super lot of damage to you, he seems still pretty hardy. Like, he's taken some damage, but he could take a lot more. All right. That makes it Amethyst's turn. You still have your moonbeam up, right?
Yes, I do think I need to move it since he's moved, though. I think he moved like 15 feet. It looked like.
Well, yeah. So I think you can move it like 30 feet or something, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I want to get him in the belly.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see.
What saving throw does he make?
I can move him up to 60 feet. But yeah, it's a Constitution.
Yeah. So especially with him turned away from you now, you can easily move it to where it's getting him where he's not looking onto his belly.
Absolutely.
Saving throw is. I think that's probably not going to do it. That's going to be a 15.
He fails.
All right. How much damage do you do with him with your moonbeam?
Oh, that is probably going to be less than what I really hoped, but you know, that's how that shit works out. So that's 10 big points of damage.
All right.
And I would like to continue moving towards where Alaric is. So that's
10, 20, 30. All right, I'm just going to move you 50.
Thanks, boss.
Sure. So as the round gets to the top again, you once again hear a voice of saying, "The window in which choices can be made does not remain open permanently. Threads of fate draped across a razor's edge, with heavy weights of consequence drawing down both sides. Both stories are important ones, exciting and terrible. But tell me, dear ones, which of these two stories do you prefer?" Ket. You're muted. Everyone's muting themselves.
I like the second one.
Yeah. All right. You yell that out?
Yeah, I yelled that out.
Okay.
Do I ask for help, guys? Come on.
Do it.
I say, I just scream into the air. I'm like, "Oh, her radiant grace, Queen Solomoni of the Shining Sun, Monarch of the Dawn Court, Giver of Warmth, Dearest of Paradise, Light in the Darkness, Warden of Ancient Knowledge, and Lady Protector of Truth, please, oh please, help us destroy this thing.
All right.
And we will be forever in your debt." Like the story says. And I'm gonna assume that's my action.
Yeah. I mean, unless
Okay.
you have something else you feel like you just are dying to add to that.
Psych.
No, that's good. Bonus action, I'll cast Bigby's Hand.
All right. I don't have a.
Oh wait, hold on. I don't think that's a bonus.
Yeah, I feel like that one might be an action to cast.
Yeah, sorry. Bonus action to move it. Yeah, sorry.
All right.
That's my turn.
Okay. So, nobody else experiences this, but Ket, you feel just a little bit of a shiver come over you, and you just hear a voice in your head just say, "Done." And then, let's see. Yeah, so the next thing that happens is that the wraiths flee. They're turned and all. That whole thing. You know, that whole bit about how they were turned. They basically just run far, far away. I'm not going to move them entirely off the map, but they are moving 120 feet away. I believe they. What does it say about the turning? Like, do they get a saving throw at the end of every turn, or is it the full time, the duration? I always forget how that works.
Let me check one more time. A turned creature spends its turns trying to move away as far from you as it can, and it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. For its action, it can only use the dash action. It's turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage.
Okay. Well, assuming no one's attacking them as they flee, they're just going to continue just getting as far away from you guys as possible for a full minute.
Yep, that'll work.
All right. Yeah. Those guys are essentially out of the fight for the immediate future. All right. Cadence. You certainly heard what Ket said.
I mean, just a moment. I do have a turn in here.
Oh, you know what? I did accidentally. I deleted the one that I had made a turn for. I thought I was deleting the duplicate. So
Not
what was
dead
your?
yet.
What
So
was
I have
your,
a question.
Yeah?
I have a question. Do magic items still work even in this cone?
Your axe does. The others do not.
Okay.
What was
Do you
your
have the
your
periaptive
initiative? It was
wound
like
closure?
1,
That's what I was
21 or
wondering
something?
about, yeah. Yeah, the periaptive wound closure. If
That
it's not
does not
functioning-
function.
Okay, then I'll make my death saves instead.
Yeah.
Okay, made one.
Okay.
That's all I needed to do.
Okay. Was your initiative 21? What was it? I don't remember.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. All right. So you've made yours, and it was a success. You said. Is that what you said?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
17.
All right. Why is it not accepting my? Okay. It's doing a weird thing where it won't just accept my number, but that's fine. Okay. So you've made your saving throw. The wraiths are speeding away from you. Cadence, your turn. You had heard what Ket said, and in response to what, the other voice that you heard.
I actually will call out to her a favor for a favor. One favor.
You hear in her head, the deal has been accepted. But don't worry. I always pay. I will bestow upon you the promised gifts. Are you taking any other action?
No. I'm gonna wait and see what happens.
All right. Okay. Otterkey.
I'm hacking at this guy in front of me.
All right.
Pissed off. So, attacks. Okay. Losing all my dice. First attack is 23.
That hits. But here's what happens. As you swing your sword, you are in this area and you realize that your ordinary sword is just, your regular sword, which is a magic sword, is acting just like an ordinary sword right now. And so you know that that's not likely to have as much effect as you would like on this wraith, right?
The cone thing didn't move with its eye?
Oh, no, you're right. You wouldn't be in it. Well, so I friggin' hate it.
Right.
Okay, never mind. Okay, yes, you're not in the magic cone. It's fine. Okay, but the point is, you know what this sword can do. Usually, this sword does not alight with radiant fire and cut this hardy wraith just in half, dissipating him completely.
Mm-hmm.
That would not normally be how you would expect that to go. But it is what happens.
Ooh.
You just... And it just goes right through him, and there's just nothing left. It just dissipates.
Huh.
All right.
Sweet.
Nira.
Well, Ket kind of spoke for all of us. And I'm stuck in this damn anti-magic field, so there's nothing I can do for Alaric where I am. So I am going to run straight north.
Okay. It's going to make an attack of opportunity.
Yeah. Better than just sitting here.
Would an 18 hit?
No.
Okay. You are able to just evade as it slashes out at you with its claws. 20 feet, you said?
Oh no, just straight up.
Well, but how far?
Until I can feel like I'm out of this magic
Okay.
field, and my movement is 48.
All right, yeah. About 40 feet gets you there.
Okay. And
All right.
yeah, I can't do anything else because the thing that I want to do, I cannot do.
So at this point, Alaric, you see it kind of rearing back and reaching over its shoulder, trying to hit at you again. And it's rolling.
I think you mean Otterkey.
I did mean Archie,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Excuse me. So that would be... yeah. So you know that this was going to hit you. But you feel just for a moment that at the last second, something deflects it aside from you. And it snaps at you with this enormous claw, but something unseen pushes it away at the last second. It was gonna hit you, but it did not hit you.
Alright.
All right. And then in the meantime, it is turning its eye around. Let's see, what is it? At this point, gosh, what does it want at this point? I think you know what? I think it's going to keep trying to. No, it's gonna pursue Nira with its other attacks, I think. So it's moving up in that direction. Archie's coming with it. The cone is gonna be following up there, you know. And so we're gonna get another claw attack and another bite attack against you, Nira. That would be a 19 to hit. Would that hit?
That meets it. That
Okay.
meets my armor class.
So that would hit.
Meet it to beat it.
And you feel this thing, like its claws clamp around you, but you feel as though they're cushioned against you. They close around you, but do not crush. And you take only 4 slashing damage. And it's going to try to bite you. Okay, so it rolled a natural 20. And that means something in this specific circumstance. It reaches out to bite at you. And you realize at the last second as its mouth nears you, that it's not actually aiming for your body.
No!
It's aiming for the silver thread. And you feel its bite sever the silver thread. And for a moment, you feel the sensation of your soul being separated from your body. And then, all of a sudden, you feel like you're falling, but then you're caught. You feel like you're being held in someone's arms, and a voice just says, "Don't worry, I've got you."
I'm gonna cry.
And then you
What?
you are not present where you were a moment ago. You're in a void. You can't even really feel yourself. You just feel these arms around you, and this voice just says, "A bargain has been made, but this is a different bargain.
Oh, shit.
Would you live, or shall I let you pass?"
So evil. I have to live.
A
I am
favor then
at your
of
mercy.
my choosing?
A favor of your choosing.
Very well, my darling. And then you feel yourself back in the astral plane,
That's so creepy.
and everyone else saw Nira flicker out. But now she's back, and you see the silver thread behind her, trailing out from her back, now has a place where there is a segment just about an inch long that is golden instead of silver. All right, so that was the Dreadnought's attack. And so that makes it Amethyst, your turn.
So yeah, I will I'll keep moving towards the crew, so So let me I gotta go like literally past it to get to Alaric. That sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
Wouldn't matter anyway because he's in the cone.
It's looking pretty bad. You might just keep fighting it.
yeah.
It's very injured. And yeah, so up to you how you want to approach this.
Don't forget your moonbeam too.
Yeah. Let me that takes my action though, doesn't it, to move it? Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, let me go ahead and I want to drop. Wait, how far am I from it now? No, that's too far still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me just move the moonbeam.
Okay. Do you want to? You can still move closer. You can use your movement to move closer anyway, and still have your action, right? If you just want to be closing.
Yeah, let me do that. Let me do
Okay.
that because at the very least I can draw aggro off of everybody else because they're looking pretty haggard.
Yeah. So that's 45 feet.
Okay.
But you're moving your moonbeam, so it's going to make another
Yeah.
Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
It gets a 13, which is a failure.
So it fails. Yeah.
But here's what happens, though. As you're moving the moonbeam, you feel... you see this circle of moonlight that has been created by your spell, and you see moving into it like a shadow passing into it, like there's an eclipse happening. And you recognize it like an eclipse, except it makes no sense why there would be. But as soon as the eclipse is total, there's a flare around it that looks like the corona of the sun. And it just burns a hole in this thing.
Nice.
And it just... and you see it roar out. And then it just begins to disintegrate. It's just shaking all over. And it is just falling and coming entirely undone. And
Nice.
essentially it is turning into finer and finer particles until you realize it's just becoming the mist.
Oh wow.
And there is, all of a sudden, as it disappears, you see that there is just drifting amongst the location where it once was, you see just a pile of decayed, rusted metal and armor and weapons and long dead corpses of past Githyanki attempts to slay this
Yikes.
creature. But it is now defeated.
So I think I already used my my movement, didn't I?
Yeah.
I don't think I can do.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do anything else to help Alaric right now.
Certainly the anti-magic field is gone now.
Right.
So that was Amethyst's turn. Kat, you're up.
We still have wraiths.
Muted.
Do we still have wraiths?
Yeah, they're just running away
flew
from me.
very
They're not
far
dead.
away. I still technically have them on the map, but they have gone very far away. They used their turn to move 120 feet away and are not showing any sign of stopping.
I will dimension door next to Alaric and just slap him across the face. Hey man, wake up!
Yeah?
I think that's automatic crit for
Yeah.
one death save, or possibly two.
Come on.
No. Are you doing any kind of a spell, or you're just like...
I can
Just
as
for
my
flavor.
action. Yeah, it's my
Okay.
action.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for flavor.
All right, so let me, I'm going to zoom in on Alia a little bit, just now that you're not so spread out. Okay, and so that would be Ket's turn. Alaric, one more saving throw?
Nope. There's a glow of a red heart-shaped thing on his chest, and his wounds close over, and he breathes deeply. To sleep.
Stabilized.
Yep.
All right. The wraiths, I think as you look at the wraiths as they continue to flee, it's not 100% clear if they are just becoming harder and harder to see as they pass into the silvery mists, or if they are in fact becoming even less substantial than they were. But it's not long before you just don't see them at all anymore.
We're still in initiative.
Well, I think until everyone's conscious. So
I'll have to wait my turn then.
yeah.
Let me at it.
So it would be Cadence next in the order here.
How far away from Alaric am I?
You're a ways still, but you know what? Like let's see. Ruler. Yeah, you're still like 135 feet.
Oh, I can't do anything. Actually,
I got him.
I think I can. I'm gonna bonus action. Oh no, I can't do that. Then
That's
I was gonna.
funny name for a spell.
No, I was gonna Misty Step and then do Healing Word on you, but like they're both bonus actions, so I can't. So I'm just gonna move my. I'm gonna dash and use my movement and use my cat movement and go as far as possible.
Let's just say that gets you
Yeah.
up to the group.
Just be like, hey, Alaric.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can do.
Alaric, there's both Alaric and the illusory duplicate both seem to be sleeping peacefully. Autarky.
So I also want to rush to him and touch one and hope it's the right one and heal him for 50 points.
You can just get to one of them, so if it's not the right one, that's all you got. So go ahead and roll. Is it?
It is not the illusion.
Is not the illusion.
Right.
Okay, yeah, so it works then. What you're laying on hands?
So 50, yeah, 50 points.
Why are you giving all that up when I can, like, next turn, I can literally fix him completely? My job!
Maybe he didn't think that you would do it.
He looks like he's on death's door.
Actually, he looks kind of fine right now, just sort of sleeping.
Still bloody. I see all that blood on him.
All right. So I think then that assuming Autarky does do that, which why wouldn't he? Alaric, you
It's kind
are
of thick.
once again awake.
Oh, good. I assume we did it then. Good job. I think it was tough.
I'm going to stomp over to Alaric.
Hey.
Scowl very fiercely at him.
Which one? Make the roll. See which one you're scowling at.
I'm over here. That one's just and it dissipates actually at that point.
I think we're no longer in initiative at this point.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm over here.
I will move my scowl to the correct one.
Beam goes over. What? We did it. I assume
Well, somebody did it, but what were you thinking?
What are you talking about? We did it. That was the point.
You aren't. Why do you always insist on trying to die? Why do you do this? And just very angrily, I am going to cast heal on him. Just like fuming.
Roll the die to see which one it is.
Well, I thought he said it
the other one's
dissipated.
gone. The other one's gone.
Oh, you dropped it?
It actually literally was 10 rounds at that point. It dropped on its own.
Wow. All right.
So take 70.
You did 10 rounds? That's crazy.
Wow.
All
Well,
right.
it gets a little faster with this kind of initiative, but yeah.
Right.
Thanks, but why are you so angry? It worked. I'm not trying to die, but if I have to die, I'll die. I've told you before. I'm not the one important here. You are. And our Otterkey and Amethyst. What are you doing here?
So at this point, you all hear, "Oh, but you're all important to me, and I look forward to working with you. I think
Like
you'll
hell.
find when you return to the flagship, the Supreme Commander will be more amenable."
Well, yeah, we killed the thing he was... What is she talking about?
The unimportant people made a choice, Alaric. And I just turn around and start walking back towards the flagship.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't answer.
I think at this point, we're going to call it for tonight.
Amethyst is so confused. So very confused. From Ket shouting out a list of titles like she's freaking Daenerys Stormborn. Like, what the hell? That was not the sitch when she left.
You missed a few things.
Wow.
I think Starla should thank James, though. She'd be a dead cookie, wouldn't she?
So good.
So dead.
So dead.
Well, yeah. So I think so. We're no longer in game. We're just finishing up. But yeah, I knew it was always a possibility that one of the things that the Astral Dreadnought can do is if it gets a crit, it can sever someone's tether.
Wow.
So I think we started to have some questions too from people, right?
Oh, did we? Let's see. We've got Smarter Master saying, "Nira, did I hear some love in that complaint?"
Right. So Nira hears this question. Just like, I mean, of course he's important. Everybody is important. They're all important. I mean, I don't know why he acts like this. We can't afford to lose anybody, especially not him. I mean, did you see the damage that he was doing?
Sounds kind of impressed. I'll take that.
Sounds deflect.
So certainly, if we have anyone else live in chat,
Insight check.
I don't have stats for chat viewers.
Oh, now we have to stat up chat. You realize at some point.
So we can. I think this is one of those where you have to just use your own natural insight. So, does anyone have additional questions for the characters?
You got anything?
Yeah, peanut gallery.
Peanut gallery over there.
You got a live studio audience at Starless House.
She said Smarter Master already asked.
Okay, nice. All right. Well, so as a reminder.
Oh, there we go. Smart master.
Okay. Alaric, what were you really thinking?
Starting to think that you have Smarter Master in your room there.
Nope, I do not.
It's kind of funny because, well, for Alaric, let me see if I can do this. I was thinking I had to be close up because I use an axe. Like, that's kind of the whole thinking there to a certain degree. But he also explains that, yeah, he's ready to die if necessary.
And I'll go ahead and confirm the only reason the axe still worked is because it is artifact level power. That's all. That's what it takes.
He still would have used it even if it wasn't. Mm-hmm. Different tactics, maybe, but yeah.
It would have been a plain old regular axe.
Yep. A lot more dodging and weaving, I think, at that point.
But, of course, it's also been in Alaric's nature for most of the campaign to be the one to just put himself at danger and, don't mind me. Yeah.
Technically, I made it out of danger. I just didn't make it far enough.
There was a really close moment there where if its bite attack takes you to 0, it swallows you.
Mm-hmm. I was waiting for that, actually.
And yeah, so that could have been bad. All right, so as a reminder to everyone watching or listening later, check out the link. extra-life.org/participant/Christiana-Ellis, or check out any of the places that I tweet or post podcasts or in the podcast notes or whatever. We're playing D&D this weekend to raise money for children's hospitals. It is a great cause. Please help us join the fun, and then on Saturday and Sunday this week, turn in. We're going to be playing 24 hours of Dungeons and Dragons with the Acquisitions Incorporated adventure. It's going to be a blast. And there's going to be
children.
A couple of these guys in there, among others. So, in the meantime, we'll see you not next week, because I'm going to be exhausted from running 24 hours of Dungeons and Dragons on Saturday and Sunday. But the following week for more adventure on so many levels.
So many levels.